Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Right There by Ariana Grande with Big Sean. And it starts out with a really cool intro part, actually, that kind of starts around some bass notes. And it kind of starts in the bass line on a 3rd fret on the A string C note. And then you go to a B flat note, which is 1st fret on the A string. And then you play open D string. So we kind of got a C, da, 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 B flat, D. And that piano part actually at the very beginning is really cool. You could play open B and then go to 1st fret on the B string and kind of do a pull off to the open B. So kind of playing 1st fret and let my finger fall off the string to the open. And then 2nd fret on the G, and then open G, and then open G again, and then 2 on the G, 3 on the G, 1st fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, 1st fret on the high E string, and then 3rd fret on the B string. So you got O, 1, 2, O, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you could almost kind of back that up, those two parts up together. You could do the 3 with the open, 1, 2, O, 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 2, 3, 1. And then right when you hit that 3rd fret on the B string, you could play the 1st fret on the A at the same time, and then 1st fret on the high E, and then the open D with the 3rd fret on the B string. So you got B, C, B, A, G, G, A, B flat, C, D, F, D. It's kind of those notes you're playing in the intro part. Now you can also back those up with chords, and if we backed it up with chords, we'd start on a C major chord. And when we play C major, first finger is going to go to the B string on the 1st fret, the 2nd finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a C major chord. It sounds really happy. And then from the C, when it goes to the B flat in the bass, you probably want to back that up with a B flat major chord. When we play B flat, there's actually a couple different ways we'll talk about here. You take your 1st finger and go across the entire 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D string 3rd, 3rd finger on the G string 3rd, and the pinky on the B string 3rd, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but that would play a B flat major. Now another way to kind of finger that is to kind of do it as kind of a double bar, kind of 1st finger with 3rd finger kind of covering the D, G, and B on the 3rd fret. For myself, actually, a lot of times with bar chords, I'll kind of take the skinny few strings and make a smaller version of that chord. So another way to play B flat, we'd be doing 1st finger on the high E string on the 1st fret, pinky on the B string on the 3rd fret, and the 3rd finger on the G string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the top 3 or the top 4 strings, that's still a B flat major. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can take the 2nd finger and kind of add it down on the D string on the 3rd fret and kind of back that up. Another option would be something called B flat 5, which is a power chord where you play the root and the 5th of the chord. And for B flat, that would be a B flat and an F note. So you could take the 1st finger and play it on the A string on the 1st fret, 3rd finger on the D string on the 3rd fret. That would be another way to play the B flat. Or you could play a B flat major 7, which can sound very hip, but it's another bar chord where you do bar 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the D string 3rd, and the pinky on the B string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, it sounds like B flat major 7, and it sounds really groovy, happy. And then for the D note, you can back that up with a D major chord. When we play D major, 1st finger is going to go to the G string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger is going to go to the high E on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you kind of strum just the D, G, B, and E, that sounds a D major chord. It sounds really happy. So you can kind of back it up with the chords that C, da, 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 B flat, D. Now a lot of times for myself though, to kind of support my voice, I like using some things called strum patterns. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you hit the C and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So we're going to try that strum pattern through our intro. The weird part is the B flat and the D with half. So when we get to those chords, we just do a down, down, up on each of those chords. So we tried that. We'd have C with a down, down, up, down, up, B flat, down, down, D with a down, down, up. Another way you can kind of do it. And sometimes with a song like this too, I like adding some things called bass notes. So for instance, on the C chord, you can do the A string for your bass with your bass and turn the down, down, up, into a bass, down, up, down. On the B flat, you'd have the A string for your bass. And then on the D chord, you'd have the B string for your bass. So another way to kind of apply that strum pattern would be doing it with basses. So you'd have C with kind of a bass, down, up, down, B flat with an A bass, down, up, D with a D bass, down, up. Kind of work that idea. Or another thing that kind of comes to mind is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an eighth note. What a 16th note is where you divide that foot tap into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's called a 16th note. And one of my favorite 16th note patterns to work with is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the C and do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So then you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the third beat, you're doing up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So all together, you got long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Now applying that to kind of our intro part, the weird thing is the B flat, the D half. So you could kind of do just a down, 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 up on those 2 chords, and that would kind of work. So if we tried it that way, we'd have C with a down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, B flat, down, 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 B down, 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 up. And if you kind of dig in on the basses, you add the bass notes in with the 16th pattern too. Then you have C with an A bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, B with a D bass, down, down, up. So there's a couple different ways you can kind of work that intro part. It kind of recurs through the song. And then from there, we go into our main verse chorus that we do all the way through the rest of the song. And that kind of revolves around a bass idea too. Actually, we could start out with the open E, and then we'd play the open D, and then the low E string on the 3rd fret for a G note, and then go to the 3rd fret on the A string for a C note, and then we go to the low E string on the 2nd fret for a F sharp note, and then the 2nd fret on the A string for a B note. So the bass line's kind of going E, D, G, C, F sharp, B. Now in the recording though, it almost sounds like you'd be doing 2 of those and kind of killing it after each one. So you'd have kind of E, D, D, G, G, C, C, F sharp, B, B, E, D, D, G, G, C, C, F sharp, B. Now you can also back that bass line up with chords too. In this particular case, on the open E string, you back it up with an E minor chord. And the way you play E minor, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret. Second finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum that all together, that sounds like E minor chord. And it sounds really, really sad. And then for the D note, actually, you could back that up with the D major chord. And then the low E string on the 3rd fret, you could back up with a G major chord. When you play G major, first finger goes to the A string on the 2nd fret. Second finger goes to the low E string on the 3rd fret. And the 3rd finger goes to the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds G major, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G major, and the C note would kind of be backed up with the C major chord. And then the F sharp note on the low E string actually sounds like it's more of a D major chord. So you could just kind of back it up with a D major chord. But if you wanted to kind of put those 2 things together, you could do something called D/F sharp, which means a D major with an F sharp in the bass. And there are a couple different ways you could play that. You could put first finger on the low E string 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the high string 2nd fret, and the pinky on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like D/F sharp. Or you could take the D major shape we talked about and kind of put the thumb over the low E string for the low E string on the 2nd fret. Or you could also do some different voicings actually for some of these chords, and use something called D/F sharp, which is where you do first finger on the low E string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, third finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like D/F sharp. I don't think that quite matches the recording quite as well. But then from there, the B note would be backed up by a B7 chord. When you play B7, first finger is going to go to the D string on the 1st fret, second finger on the A string 2nd fret, third finger on the G string 2nd fret, the pinky on the high E string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B7 chord. It sounds really, really messed up, and it's kind of supposed to. So through our verse part, we kind of have E minor, D major, G major, C major, D/F sharp, B7. And if you wanted to, there's some other voicings for these chords you could play around with. Like on the E minor, you could use something called E minor 7. And the way you play E minor 7, first finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, third finger goes to the B string on the 3rd fret, and the pinky goes to the high E string on the 3rd fret, and that sounds like E minor 7. It sounds really, really happy. And then for the D, you could even substitute in something called D sus, where you just take the 1st finger and go to the G string 2nd fret and leave the 3rd finger on the B string, pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And then for the G major, another way to play G major would be doing 1st finger on the A string 2nd, 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd, leave the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string on the 3rd. So you can kind of work it that way. Another way to play the C chord would be doing something called C major 9, where you do the 1st finger on the D string 2nd, 2nd finger on the A string 3rd, 3rd finger stays on the B string 3rd, pinky stays on the high E string 3rd. So you may want to kind of think about using that for the C major. And then you can even use that D sus / F sharp. And then for the B, randomly, you could take the 1st finger and go to the A string 2nd fret and strum just the A string and the high E string. And then kind of use that. That would be like a B. That would be a B minor with some stuff added to it. It's kind of a drone voicing for a B minor. So you could kind of work it that way, and that way you don't have to move the 3rd and the 4th finger. So if you're just starting out, this could be kind of a cool option. It's kind of that E minor, D sus, G major, C major 9, D sus / F or B, and kind of work that. And with the recording, it almost sounds like it'd be kind of a down up kill it kind of idea through all those chords. You have E minor with a down up, kill it, D with a down up, kill it, G with a down up, kill it, C with a down up, kill it, D / F sharp with a down up, kill it, B with a down up, kill it. But if you wanted to kind of fill that in, you could use your down, down, up, down, up. And the weird thing is the D and the G kind of have. So we'd have the whole strum pattern on the E minor, and then D with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, C with a down, down, up, down, D / F sharp with a down, down, B7 with a down, down, up. So you can kind of half the chords that way. So we tried that. We have E minor with a down, down, up, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, B7 down, down, E minor down, down, up, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, down, up, down, D, E7. Now another thing you could do is kind of add basses to that. And you can have E minor with a bass, down, up, down, D with the D bass, down, G with low E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D / F sharp with low E bass, down, D7 with an A bass, E minor with low E bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, G with low E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D / F sharp, E7. So you want to kind of play around with that too. Now if you're digging on the 16th note pattern, you could kind of apply that too. You could do the E minor with kind of the long down, 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 up, and then do the halving with kind of a down, down, up on each one. So you kind of dig on this another way to kind of work it. Would be kind of E minor, down, down, D, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, 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 D, down, down, B7 down, down, E minor down, 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 D, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, 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 D, down, down, D, down, down, E minor down, 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 D, down, down, G, down, down, C, down, 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 D, or you could throw in your bass notes with that. And then we have E minor with the bass, down, down, D with the bass, down, G with the bass, down, C with the bass, down, down, D with the bass, down, D with the bass, down, E minor with the bass, down, down, D with the bass, down, G with the bass, down, C with the bass, down, down, D / F sharp, B minor, D, G, C, D / F sharp, B. And then from there, actually, we end up kind of repeating that part and then going back into our intro through the tune. So we kind of got that C, B flat, D, and then basically we're just kind of going right back into kind of our verse chords. So that's the basics of how you can strum through right there by Ariana Grande with Big Sean. So good luck!